Now the topic here we will see is called VLAN trunking protocol. What is VLAN trunking protocol? Now if I give you three switches over here, if I say you have three switches, switch number 1, switch number 2 and switch number 3, and these are connected to each other. I give you a task to create two VLANs, VLAN number 2 and give it a name blue, VLAN number 3 and give it a name red. What we have to do is we have to give all these commands on switch number A, switch number B and switch number C. All these three devices are supposed to have, you have to go on each and every device and you have to give this command one by one. What VLAN trunking protocol will do is it will allow you to configure a VLAN only on one device, and this database is automatically propagated on the other devices. So no worries about going on each and every switch and creating a VLAN. You can simply sit on one switch and you can create a VLAN over there. Automatically this VLAN will be propagated on the other switches with the name also perfectly, right? So VLAN trunking protocol has three versions: version 1, version 2, version 3. Right now we will talk about version 2. Version 1 is kind of obsolete. Version 2 is the latest one that is running. Version 3 is also there in the that people are using. Let's see what are the features of VTP. VTP has three modes. One is the server mode, one is a client mode, and one is a transparent mode. In the server mode of VTP, you can create, you can modify, you can delete the VLANs. And in the client mode, you cannot do anything. In the client mode, you just have to take the database. So what will happen is, if there is a server over here, if I say there is a server who is taking, you create on a server over here, I have a client over here, I have a client over here. This server will propagate it to this client. This client will propagate it to this client. The requirement over here is that these links must be your trunk links. Access links are not allowed here. That is why they say VLAN trunking protocol. This is using trunk links over here. So the first requirement now what is, you are supposed to have a domain configured. So if there is a domain, there will be a password, right? And you have to set up the mode. By default, all the devices are in the server mode. You can configure it to be in a client mode or in the transparent mode, and configure your trunk links. Getting the thing? Now, first of all, how do you configure all these things? You have to say, you have to be in the global configuration mode, and you have to say VTP domain ABC, whatever it is. By default, the domain is null and the password is also null. So what we can do here is VTP domain is ABC. You have to say VTP password, whatever you want to say, ABC. And VTP mode is server. I am talking about this one, but by default it is server. No need to configure anything. VTP mode is server, and interface F0/1 switch port mode is trunk. Simple configuration, very straightforward. You have to say VTP domain name, VTP password, configure the mode, and you can say on this switch port mode is trunk. Let us copy these commands and paste in. See, there is a server mode, there is a client mode. The moment you go and, I'll just show it to you over here in a better way. What is the use of VTP server mode? Server can create, a client can take, but what is this transparent mode? A transparent mode is the one who will take the database, but he will not keep it inside his data. He will only propagate it to the other VLAN, other devices. So if you create a VLAN number 3 over here, this goes over here. He does not update it over here. He simply passes on to the other. Why will we require a transparent device like this? Because in a scenario wherein there are only 2 people, for example, and they belong to certain other VLANs, No need to have the database of 200 servers over here. No worries. So we can create this in a transparent mode. And if you want, you can create, modify, delete VLANs in the transparent mode, but they will not be propagated over here. No, this guy is a very patient guy. He's a very silent guy. He will only create the data to himself and he will not tell it to anybody else. It is the job of your transparent mode. Let us see. So let us first create a server mode. Let us create the client mode, and then we will create the transparent mode. Our job over here is to create a VLAN number 2 and VLAN number 3. It must be automatically propagated over here. Then your task will be successful. So let us go on our server device. Let us go on the switch and we will push the configuration. We will say the domain name, the password. Okay, let's take 3 switches. Oh no, those. This we will configure as the server. Enable configure terminal hostname server. VTP domain ABCD. See, it is null. It changes this. VTP password ABCD. VTP mode server, already server, and interface F0/1 switchport mode is trunk. I configured my link to be a trunk link. Let us see. Show interface trunk. Automatically, because of dynamic trunking protocol, the other device forms a trunk with us. And show VTP status will tell us the status of the VTP going on. So this is the version number 2 going on. Every time you do any change to the VLAN database, it will increase the revision number by 1. As of now, there are 5 VLANs already existing: VLAN 1, 1001, 1002 and all. Domain name is this, domain mode is this, and this is the MD5 digest. As of now, we have configured everything. Let us go and configure it over here. Enable configure terminal host name transparent. VTP mode is, I'll just write it in notepad. VTP mode is transparent. And I will say interface range F0/1-2, because I have 2 ports over here. 1 and 2 both must be my trunk ports. So VTP domain, VTP password, VTP mode transparent, and VTP interface switchport mode is trunk. Let us copy these commands and paste it on the transparent device. Clear? Show VTP status. It says that version is 2, revision is 0, VLANs, and mode is transparent. See, one drawback about this is show VTP password. If you say the password is visible in clear text. We have earlier seen service password encryption will encrypt the plain text passwords, but show VTP password, this password is not encrypted over here. Even if you say please encrypt the passwords, this VTP password is not encrypted. Let us configure the client device over here. Let us say VTP mode is client, and I only have one interface over here. So I'll simply say interface F0/1 switchport mode is trunk. I'll give him a host name also, client. So let us push this config on your switch number 3. Let's go over here and let's say you are a client device. Enable configure terminal. Let's say paste. I forgot the enable command, it seems. Now I am on the client device. Show VTP status. VTP status tells me that the client device is 0. As of now, nothing has changed. Show VLAN brief. As of now, there are only 5 VLANs that are already present. Can I create a VLAN? Can I say configure terminal VLAN 2? It says sorry. VTP VLAN configuration is not allowed when the device is in config client mode. So what is our task? We have to create 2 VLANs, VLAN number 2 and VLAN number 3. So where will I create this? I will create it on the server. See what happens. If I say configure terminal VLAN 2, I just said VLAN 2 and see the revision number earlier was 0. I will say do show VTP status. The revision number is increased over here. So VTP operates with revision numbers, and let us check, is this VLAN number 2 created? As of now, I have created it on the server. Is it propagated on the client? Show VLAN brief. No VLAN created. Show VTP status. No revision number. Understand one thing. The job of a transparent switch is to simply take the data from here and pass it on. He will not put in his local database. His revision number will always be 0. So that is the reason we do not see any VLAN created on the transparency device, and the revision number is over here. Although I can create a VLAN over here. I can see VLAN 5, anything, name XYZ. But show VLAN brief, I created a VLAN over here. It is only for him. He will not increase the revision number. Show VTP status. He will never increase the revision number. So the transparent mode can create, can modify the delete, and we delete the VLANs, but this database will be only for him. Let's see on the client device which VLANs have been propagated. Show VLAN brief. See, VLAN 2 is automatically propagated over here. Why? Because the server created the VLAN. Here you created a VLAN. This is sent to the transparent, and transparent simply sends it out over here. Let us see if I change the name on the server device. I'll go on the server switch. I will say name is red. The moment I change the name, see, the revision number will go up. The revision number is 2 as of now. Is the transparent device taking it? No. The transparent device does not change its database. And will the client device take it? Sure, he will. See, he updated. Earlier his name was 002. Now his name is red. So the job of VLAN trunking protocol is you can create VLANs at one device only, and you can propagate it on the other device. Whole network will accept it, and easy to manage, easy to configure. But there is a very dangerous point to VTP. What is the dangerous point to VTP is, for example, if you bring a rogue switch over here, if somebody brings a switch over here and this switch has a higher revision number, this switch is attached to this client, what will happen is this device does not have any VLAN, but he has a VLAN revision number of 100, and here this guy has a VLAN number, revision number of 3. What this switch will do is he will update the revision number of 100, and he will update the database to his database. Now what will happen is there are no VLANs absolutely over here. VLANs are deleted. See, I go on the server switch, and if I delete a VLAN, if I delete the VLANs over here, and I will say no VLAN 2. I think I created a VLAN. Let me check. Do show VLAN brief. So there is a VLAN number 2. I will say no VLAN 2 over here. I delete this VLAN. This VLAN will also be deleted from show VLAN brief. See, it's gone. No VLAN is there now. So this is a very dangerous issue. Why? Because yesterday we saw, if there is an interface that belongs to a VLAN and this VLAN is deleted, what happens to the interface? this interface does not go anywhere. This interface is in amber color, right? Data will not be forwarded. So that is why people are very scared of running VTP. Getting the point? VLAN trunking protocol. Many people do not prefer running VTP. If you know it in and out, then you run. Or the best way to run VTP is to run all the switches in transparent mode. Safe. Better than sorry, because if all the devices are in transparent mode, you can create and the database will be with him. So initially set up a server and a client mode everywhere, and later on turn them so the database will be propagated. After the database is stable, then change the mode to transparent. And again, if you want to bring a device like this, so assuming that this device was not a rogue device, there was a device that was supposed to be added to the network, but the revision number was high. Simply change the mode to transparent mode and then change the domain. Add it to the domain and he will see, okay, my revision number is 0, your revision number is 3. Okay, I will take down your database. Please give me your database. Then it is a good practice. Okay.